So I'm here with Ravi Walia, coach to Kaetlyn Osmond, and also longtime Canadian competitor.
Yeah.
Is it exciting now to be back at Canadian Nationals and behind the boards, or do you sometimes wish you were the one on the ice and maybe a bit more control of making it happen?
No, it's exciting to be back, and I'm happy to be on the other side of the boards. It's exciting to be a coach, and definitely, I enjoyed the days of skating, but they're behind me now.
Right. No. So Kaetlyn had just a magnificent season last year. Was this something that you were, there was a lot of attention given to her recovery from the injury, but for many seasons now, a lot of skating community members have seen that this girl has a ton of potential, and the jumps are amazing, her speed's magnificent. Were you expecting this all to come together last season the way it did?
It was a goal, definitely, for her to make it back and to get better than she was before her injury. It definitely took a lot of preparation. The year that she came back after her injury was really a struggle for her. I think she really lacked a lot of confidence. So it was great that last season she was able to build on the year before and kind of break through. She put a lot of work into it, and she worked with a sports psychologist, and we tried to kind of work a little bit on the jump technique and kind of start from the beginning and re-teach her some of the jumps. It really seemed to help.
Okay. Coming off of Helsinki, how has the summer gone? What were some of the decisions that you both made in terms of attention to off-season training and getting ready for this season?
It's been really great. She's had a good summer already. She's competed a couple times in some local events, and they went really well. After Worlds, we got both her programs choreographed right after Worlds. So she skipped the World Team Trophy in order to kind of rest and get her programs choreographed before she went on tour.
Yeah.
So I think that helped her. She was able to be on tour and work on the programs a little bit, and she really enjoyed the tour. When she came back, she had another maybe week or 10 days off, and then we started on the season.
I observed the tour, the Stars of Ice tour, and there was an additional buzz knowing that two women were now world medalists from Canada, which was unprecedented, and there was an additional excitement to it. Does Gabby's arrival on or success and winning the bronze medal, does that also excite Kaetlyn, or is she pretty much tunnel vision and sort of in her own zone?
I think a little bit of both. She is very tunnel vision when it comes to her competitors. She's never really been one to look around at what others are doing, but at the same time, just having the two Canadians there, I think it was very exciting for them both. So I think it's, pushed her, motivated her, but just been fun to have another person that's doing so well.
Yeah. So talk to us about first her short program, the motivation behind the music, and the choreographer.
Her short program is Summertime. Lance Vipon choreographed her program, and he's been a long-time choreographer for her.
Yes.
They work really well together, so she's very excited about that program. A style that she really loves doing, and so definitely she's excited to show it.
I noticed that the triple Lutz is now being attempted in the second half. Is this an attempt to be more competitive with Evgenia and the others who are, back end loading their jumps for the additional points?
Yeah, definitely. And last season, when the short program went so well, I think now that she is ready to try and to change that up a little bit, and yeah, try to stay competitive. But more importantly, I mean, I think for me and for us, we try to just make sure that it matches the music and matches the concept. So in this program, it really made sense to put in the second half with what the music was.
Right. Okay. How much additional sort of training or stamina did you need to do to make sure that she could execute that and get comfortable with it, or is she there yet?
Oh, she's there. She's been doing it in practice. So it's just the training is just something that just you do throughout the summer, and it's been going really well.
Okay. And her long program, Black Swan?
Yeah, Black Swan in the movie, and so she's also excited about that program. A different look for her, and very dramatic, and it's gotten a lot of really good feedback already.
How involved are you with the selection of music, or do you leave that entirely to Kaetlyn and the choreographer? Are you involved?
I'm pretty involved. I end up researching and searching a lot, and often the programs, the music, I at least a big part of the research and looking for the right piece.
And so what in Black Swan sort of jumped out at you as a match for Kaetlyn?
I think it was 2 years ago. She told me, just one time we were at the practice session, she told me she saw the movie and she loved the music. And so from then on, I always kept it in the back of my head and thought about it last year for her. And but when the off season came this year, actually it was during 4 continents when we were in Korea. I was looking for music for the next season, and I just kept going back to that. And the choreographer Jeff Botto loved it, Kaetlyn loved it, and I also thought it was like the perfect choice for her.
Yeah. It's a combination of both light and dark emotions and feelings. Is that a new challenge for Kaetlyn to play both in one program?
I think so. She is. I think Kaetlyn's definitely a really good actress on the ice. So I always try to find something that she can be acting out a storyline. I think that's where she's best. So we tried to kind of have that storyline for sure.
Right. With Kaetlyn's silver medal win, there is now buzz that she's an Olympic gold medal hopeful or favorite. No, maybe not a challenger. She's in the mix for sure to a greater degree than 2014. Does she feel that? Do you feel that in any way? Does that change? Does that sort of grow in your mind at all? Or
I mean, I think it's given her a lot of confidence and motivation. She's definitely very driven and working really hard and just very focused. I think definitely it just has given her a lot of confidence. It hasn't really changed our preparation or our training or anything in our daily lives. It doesn't change, but just I think for her, she's very motivated, and it kind of the last season showed her that what was possible. And I think we're trying to keep things very similar and hope the same great programs happen again this season.
Right. So last year, the short program was almost always rock solid for Kaetlyn, and then she was challenged a little bit in terms of the execution of jumps in the middle to back half of her long program. Have you worked on that in any way, and can you tell us what you've done?
Yeah, we have spent a lot of time on the second half of the program. Last season, she actually was quite consistent in practice during the program. In competition, she lost her focus sometimes throughout the long program. But she did get it by the World Champions, which is good. We made a few changes before Worlds, and it helped. And so definitely, we've been working a lot on the second half. And already in the competition, she's been pretty good in the long program. So she did several triples. So I think it's been a little bit of stamina work, and also just like working on those, repeating the parts over and over again, and also the psychology of it, right? Really, we try and take the program in like 2 parts, so it's not too overwhelming.
Okay.
So definitely, it seems to have helped.
The triple loop, when it's executed well, it looks glorious, but it's something that she struggles with. What do you think it is about that jump that just poses such a roadblock?
Yeah, she does it. It's one of her best triples in practice. It's possibly her most consistent jump. So she's improved that a lot. I think the thing is, it was just her last triple that she got. She didn't get it till about 2 or 3 years ago, and so it wasn't until after she broke her leg that she started putting it in the program. And I just think the first season back, she had so many struggles that it kind of, the next year, which was last year, I think it was still in her head that she had not landed triple loop in competition yet. And so I think really she just keep putting a little extra pressure, and when that happens, you get really tense and you try too hard.
Sure.
So the key for her is to just let the jump happen and just kind of keep it like practice and not get too excited about it.
Last question. With Canada's strong showing in all 4 disciplines, really, and strength in all 4 disciplines, there's a lot of buzz and excitement that Canada is a real, possibly a shoo-in or definitely a contender for the team gold medal at the Olympics. How do you feel about Kaetlyn competing in that event and then coming back down to then compete again in her own individual event? Is that something that you prepare for,
definitely,
plan, or thought about?
Yeah, we definitely have talked about it and planned it out in our calendar, and we're ready to do both events. It would be exciting if she gets the opportunity, and she definitely loved doing it in Sochi. But it's an exciting time being part of such a strong Canadian team.
Absolutely. Well, best of luck to you this season. Thanks so much for chatting with me today, and all our best to Kaetlyn.
Thank you.
Thank you.